All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is a DOJ employee charged in Subway sandwich attack. Subway sandwich attack. Let's do it. I don't know.
Live now from Fox 232 on the East Coast, 1132 on the West Coast. I do want to get you to a developing story that we have been following, as a Justice Department employee has been fired and charged with a felony after investigators say they identified him as the man seen in this video throwing a Subway sandwich at a federal officer. The footage obtained by our Fox 5 DC station shows the incident earlier this week during a confrontation in downtown Washington, D.C. Court documents allege the man is now former DOJ employee Sean Dunn, and that he yelled profanities at a U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent before hurling.
Wait.
Documents allege the man is now
you can't make this up. You can't make this up, guys. No.
Former DOJ employee Sean Dunn, and that he yelled profanities at a U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent before hurling that sandwich right at him, and then, as you can see, taking off running. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted about this earlier on today here on social media, and I do want to pop that up.
That is not funny.
She said, "If you touch any law enforcement officer, we will come after you. I just learned that this defendant worked at the Department of Justice no longer. Not only is he fired, he has been charged with a felony. This is an example of the deep state we have been up against for 7 months as we work to refocus DOJ. You will not work in this administration while disrespecting our government and law enforcement."
And listen, that is completely fine. I definitely back the entire statement of that. But I want to go ahead and point out something here. I don't know what this has to do with the deep state here. Let's just say that there, or the idea of the deep state. This is just an individual, most likely, Joe Biden type of individual supporter. And he's not happy with, what's going on with the government currently. And he thought in his mind that he had the entitledness, let's say, to be able to throw a Subway sandwich at an ICE officer. Listen, jail. Absolutely. Jail. Immediately jail, guys. All right?
I do want to discuss all of this further as we get more and more details on the developing story.
For more details,
Romani, a friend of the show, is the president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, and he's a former federal prosecutor. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Of course, Josh. Thanks for having me, as always.
Of course. And first off, I did want to ask you overall about this situation in general, because we are talking about felony assault. How exactly does that differ from maybe simple assault? And does a sandwich meet the criteria of any of that?
Josh, you're spot on. This is not felony assault. Felony requires some sort of weapon, usually a deadly weapon, or substantial bodily injury. And throwing a Subway sandwich at someone may be assault, but it's simple assault. It's a misdemeanor under 111 United States Code. Again, it's something that's a wobbler for folks who practice criminal law, which means it can be charged as a misdemeanor or a felony. So I understand what Pam Bondi's doing. She's trying to protect federal law enforcement officers, but no judge in this country on either side of the political aisle, regardless of who appointed them, is going to move forward with a felony assault trial here. This will be a misdemeanor, and it will be for a magistrate, which is a lower judge in federal court.
Okay, so I wanted to hear what the lawyer had to say so I can get a better insight at least. The fact that he just said this, I still think that he should go to jail for assault at the bare minimum here, because it is what it is. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. It's probably going to be on SNL any day now when I say this here. But yeah, I get it, bro. Felony assault is mass. It requires like bodily injury, and there was none of this here. This was just he was angry, mad, and this here, and he threw a Subway sandwich at him. Okay, we're here for that. But I still think that he should definitely see some type of time for it, because guys, we can't have people so deeply in their emotions that they proceed to start throwing and hurling things at federal agents, guys. It's not a thing here, bro.
And I did want to ask, if this does end up getting prosecuted as a felony assault, how do the penalties kind of differ when you're talking about a felony assault versus a simple assault?
Like battery on
The
Leo
key
at the
difference
bare
between a
minimum.
misdemeanor and a felony is jail time.
Stop
And
showing me that
a
video, bro.
felony is punishable by more than a year in federal prison. A misdemeanor is a year or less. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to be a jail case at all. It might be a fine, might be a probation, but a felony does put you in that significant jail time, a year or more in prison.
When we're talking about a DOJ employee now, according to Pam Bondi, a former DOJ employee, does that change any of the legal aspects of the case and the situation as a whole?
It doesn't. Now, obviously, DOJ employees should be held to a higher standard, but we're really talking about an administrative issue. They are at-will employees, but they can be let go for misconduct or conduct unbecoming a public service. And they do have civil service protections, which means they have the right to notice and a hearing. But in this particular case, we've all seen the video. When he was caught, he admitted to throwing the Subway sandwich. Really, the only potential defense here is that it wasn't me. And I think that's going to be very difficult to prove. So I expect him to be out of a job and be looking for a new job in the private sector. But I don't expect Mr. Dunn to be any felony charges here. We're likely going to see some sort of plea or a dismissal by the judge that gets assigned this case.
And on that note here, can Dunn actually claim that his actions were maybe a form of political protest, expression, or does the physical nature here of the act limit that defense as you're talking about not necessarily a deadly weapon, but an object that was thrown at that officer?
Josh, you're on fire today. You're absolutely right. There's a difference between speech and conduct. So obviously political speech is protected under the First Amendment, but conduct is not. So conduct always crosses the line from protected First Amendment free speech activity to potential misconduct. So an assault is never protected. Him yelling fascist, maybe even yelling profanities, that can't be prosecuted. But it's really that sandwich throwing, that physical touching that crosses the line from protected activity to criminal conduct.
All right. Nima Rahmani, as always, thank you so much.
Okay, I guess that is it there. Okay, guys. The video itself is so outrageous that I honestly, truthfully cannot stop laughing at it. And obviously, it's not a funny thing because someone did get assaulted, but it's just so ridiculous that I think that he needs to kind of be made an example of, at least in this instance here, because this is going to go viral, right? This is already going viral. It's super viral right now, right? And because of that, I think that it could potentially, like, if he gets let off, other people are going to start doing it, bro. Like, I understand how the justice system works in terms of setting precedents, right? Like, understand how that works. So by default, he's going to have to get something. Okay, that's it, bro. Something. It has to be on his record. But now that I hear the I guess the definition clearer, let's say, I don't think that he's going to get a felony, guys. Like, if you sit and think about it, and not be emotional about it, he's not going to get a felony. But this is ridiculous. All right, I'm probably going to make this a shirt, guys, because it's that ridiculous. I remember when the Alabama or Montgomery boat brawl thing happened, guys. I had a shirt made of the scene. All right, it was the most hilarious thing in the world to me, guys. It was just ridiculous. Why are you guys acting like this in public? You are an adult working for the federal government, and then you throw a Subway sandwich and other federal. Okay, this is just weird, guys. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. In the meantime, I will catch you guys later.